Welcome back for another video, guys, and today I've got a bunch of new products from Bulk Decoy Club to show you. I did film an unboxing video, but unfortunately when my camera battery died when I was filming that video, like 10 minutes of footage was corrupted, so it's no good, and there was a lot missing when I went to go edit the video. So I'm back here refilming it to show you guys these new products, and these are products that I've been very excited about getting. If you guys don't know what Bulk Decoy Club is, it's a website where you can go online, pick up a bunch of decoys for super cheap, and there's free shipping on all orders. So right now until August 8th, Bulk Decoy Club is doing a sale, so you can pick up a lot of stuff for cheap, and of course there's going to be free shipping on it. So I'll leave a link in the description to the Bulk Decoy Club website if you guys want to go check some of this out. So first of all, we're going to start with one thing that I've been most excited about ever since I heard about the conception of these things, and that is the Bulk Decoy Club Canada Goose floaters. These, you can get 6 of them for 89 bucks, and when they come to you, they come squished up. If you guys can hear that, there's air coming out of the decoy. There you go. So they do come squished, and all you got to do when you get them, pull them out, just give them a little pushing, and then they'll suck air back into the cavity. There's a little hole in the butt there where air comes in, and boom, it pops right into place. Once you got that in there, you can just plug that hole, or if you don't want to deal with the plug there, you're worried it's going to break off or leak or whatever, you can go ahead and fill that with silicone. No big deal. So something else to note is when you get these decoys, the heads are not attached to the decoy, and it comes with a bottle of epoxy to secure the heads to the decoy. And the reason you need epoxy is because of how squishy this material is. It doesn't really hold on to the head very well. So you just throw some epoxy in there, get the head screwed in just like every other decoy, and let it dry, and it's not coming loose. And even if it does, you could go ahead and touch it back up and glue it back on, no big deal. So these decoys are 89 bucks. I don't know if I've said that already, but for the price point, they just look great. They're not a huge, like, big honker decoy. These are kind of like a lesser size, but when it comes to a goose floater, it really doesn't matter. Actually, even just a goose decoy, it really doesn't matter how big your decoy is. Geese, they don't have that kind of perception to size. As long as it looks like a goose, you'll be killing geese. These have a weighted keel. They've got an attachment point for decoy rigs up here and one in the back. I don't think this one's showing up, but I gotta get a punch and I can punch that out if I want to put one in the back of this decoy. But overall, I'm very impressed with the quality of these. These do not have flocked heads, they're painted heads, but for 89 bucks and you get 6 of them, they're a pretty good deal. And I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys asking if I've got my hands on them, what do I think of them, and I finally do, and I can finally say that I'm very impressed with these and I like them a lot. I've never really been disappointed with any Bulk Decoy Club gear. It's quality stuff at a very reasonable, affordable price. So moving on, we've got another new product from Bulk Decoy Club, and that is their 12-slot decoy bag. You can get this decoy bag for 35 bucks on their website. It's got a sleeve on the front here to go ahead and put your field stakes in or whatever. And then it's also got some drain holes, like a mesh on the bottom, so if you use it for your floaters, you can put them in there. Any water that's in there will drain right out. The quality of these bags is really good. They're pretty much just a decoy bag. All decoy bags, for the most part, do the same thing, and they are the same thing. And this one's got 12 slots and holds your decoys, got a spot for your field stakes, and it's gonna work great. And I like it. I like it a lot, especially for 35 bucks. So if you guys want to get any of these, I'll leave a link in the description to the Bulk Decoy Club website. Okay, so up next we've got the 6-slot decoy bag. This is nothing new, but I figured since I've got it here, I'll show you guys. It's a basic 6-slot decoy bag for your goose decoys. There's no sleeve on the front to hold your stakes, but it does hold a dozen of the full-body goose decoys. And so this is one of the new products that Bulk Decoy Club came out pretty recently with, and that is the full-body Canada Goose sleeper. They got flocked heads and flocked tails, and so when you get them in the mail, they're gonna come kind of squished up like a taco. And once you get them out of the box, you just open them up and you stick your hand in this big hole in their butt and you pop them out into place, and then they take their shape. And if yours don't take shape right away, what you can do is just go ahead and put them on a stake and stick them in the ground. Especially if it's warm outside, that's a lot better. But if it's cold outside, you can get a hair dryer, run it under hot water, and it will go back into the shape that it was molded to. So these full body sleepers will be great to put on a edge of a farm pond if you're hunting ducks and geese. You want a little bit of realism to there. You can just throw some full body Canada sleepers on the edge of the pond. It'll look pretty realistic, add confidence if you're just hunting ducks. And if you're hunting geese, you can have your goose floaters out there, have some sleepers on the edge, and it's gonna look really realistic. Now, the stake system for these Bulk Decoy Club decoys is pretty unique, and it's different than like a Greenhead Gear or an Avian X or whatever. It's got this little button top rubber stake thing. It's got a sharpened point on one end, and then you run the rubber end through the hole on the bottom of the decoy, and then you pop it through the top hole on the decoy, just like that, and then it's not coming off. So you can either leave the stakes in or you can take them out. It's just personal preference on what you want to do. And they spin freely on these, and I've heard people ask me if they spin like a top on high wind days, and from my experience with them, they don't. They kind of wiggle back and forth, but for the most part they're really never ever gonna do this. They'll most likely just kind of do a little wiggle back and forth just like any other motion stake would. Another way I could see using this decoy is like on frozen ground, or if you're in a field, you can throw these in your field spread, of course. But if the ground's frozen or you're hunting on ice or on the edge of a pond, boom, you got a flat spot to make a sleeper shell. And that's pretty sweet as well. So you can just slap that on the ground, boom, you got yourself a Canada Goose sleeper shell, and you don't have to worry about getting the stakes in the frozen ground. You can throw these out on the ice. That's how it's done. So pretty sweet little decoy. It's got a lot of uses to it, and it's just another tool in the arsenal of duck hunting. And like I said, I fit a dozen of these full bodies in one of these 6-slot bags, and that's how it's done. And the full body sleepers are on sale until the 8th for $89 for 6 of them. So if you're looking at getting them and you're watching this video and you're like, oh crap, I've only got 1 or 2 days, I'd recommend going ahead and picking some up, because you're gonna save $10 on whatever you order. So if you order a dozen, you're saving $20. And I don't mean for that to sound like a sales pitch. I'm just trying to tell you guys to save some money. And the last product here that we're gonna take a look at is the Bulk Decoy Club layout blind. And I was really interested in taking a look at this one because it's $99 and it serves multiple different purposes. So let's go ahead and get it set up and go through the different things that this blind does. Okay, so first things first, it is a backpack style blind, and it's extremely lightweight. It's only like 4 pounds. So if you're a walk-in hunter, this is a perfect blind for you. And I could see this blind being very useful for the public land walk-in hunter if you're gonna be hunting in a spot where, you know, there's not a lot of places to hide, but you've got some dry ground. You can pack this puppy in and hide and just disappear, and it's super lightweight and easy to carry in. I've had some layout blinds that are really heavy, and it kind of sucks backpacking those things in. So having a lightweight option is a plus. Now, this blind is also a decoy bag. I just removed the cover to the blind. I'll get into that here in a second after I show you the decoy bag spot. So it's got a nice big hole in here to fit your decoys in. So let's go ahead and just do duck decoys, because that's what I would see myself using this blind for the most. And of course, because these are the Bulk Decoy Club full body ducks, you can squish them down and probably fit a lot more. So let's see if I can fit a dozen of these duck decoys in there. I'm sure I can. It's probably a piece of cake. Looks like it will be. I probably won't even need to squish any. So it's pretty much filled up to the top here, and we got a dozen full body ducks, and so that's probably equivalent to, you know, a dozen to 1.5 dozen floater ducks, which is probably what I would throw inside this bag right here. And it's got a drawstring right here. You cinch it down, fold that over, and boom, you're in backpack mode. So that's a nice little perk to this bag, especially if you're going to be walking in someplace, or if you're going to go hunt some sheet water or something in a field. This would be really useful, because you can pack in your full body ducks. If it's like 3-4 inches of water, you just throw these full body ducks out there. You don't have to mess around with heavy floaters. You got these lightweight full body ducks. And, you know, as a walk-in hunter sometimes, or just for walking hunters, cutting any kind of weight possible is definitely a plus. So I can see that being very useful if you're hunting some kind of sheet water in a field. This would be money. Okay, let's go ahead and get this blind set up. On the inside, I doubt you guys will be able to see this, but there is a little bar. You just pick this bar up, push it up, and boom, you've got the backrest to your layout blind. And as you notice, there is no like cover or stubble straps. Why is that? Well, it's because you can detach the cover like I mentioned earlier, and boom, you got a butt and backrest for when you're snow goose hunting. So that's perfect. It's pretty comfortable. It's got a nice angle to it, and I could see that being an awesome addition if you guys lay out in white for regular season or for light goose season. The cover is like a blanket, okay? So it's got plenty of stubble straps on there, and it has these buckles attached to them, and you can loop them through a stubble strap and then hook them to the blind. So let's go ahead and do that. There's one buckle right here, boom. And when you get it, you might need to adjust the buckles on your blind to fit it, but there you go. So we got the blind set up. I don't know how well it's going to be holding on to like stubble or grass that you put in there. So I could see this being one of those situations where either one, you get fake grass and tie it on there, or two, you use zip ties to keep your grass attached to the blind. So basically you're sitting down right here and you pull this over you like a blanket, and then you're tucked up under here hiding, doing your thing, calling ducks, and then you flip it open, grab your gun. This is when having like a little spot to keep your gun, like something to keep it elevated off the ground and out of the dirt would be really handy. So you pick up your gun and shoot. So it's a pretty lightweight, just packable, low profile, super low profile blind. And I could see it being really useful for anybody who wants a really cheap blind, anybody who wants a backrest for snow goose season, and just to have like an extra layout blind for somebody that wants to come hunt with them, and for people that pack in, and for if you want a low profile position in a field, or if you're hunting someplace that just having a big framed in blind won't necessarily cut it. You need to get a little lower to the ground. So all in all, I'm very impressed with it. I need to think of how I'm gonna use it this season, but I think if I'm gonna be using it most of the time, it's either gonna be for a backrest if I'm laying in white, or for hiking into a public land spot if I'm not using the kayak. So that is all of the new products that I wanted to show you guys and that I got when the shipment came in the other day. And I'm super excited to get out and do some hunting here this season and getting to use some of these new products, especially these bad boys. I freaking love hunting geese over water. I kind of got introduced to it last season, and ever since then I've just been hooked, and it's something that I really want to get into and do some more. I want you guys to go ahead and leave in the comments what you guys think of these. I'm very impressed with these floaters, and for the price point, these things are going to be rock star, and we're going to kill a lot of geese over them this year. And I think that these things would be really easy to get in a kayak, especially because of the size of them. So we might be able to take the kayak out and do some kayak goose hunting, which would be sweet. If you guys haven't already, be sure to leave me a big old thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video up to 600 likes. It's a pretty easy goal, and I think we can make it. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell, because with hunting season coming up, you want to get a notification whenever I post a new video, so then you don't miss the hunts that I post on YouTube here. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, I've got a Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. So be sure to follow me on there and stay up to date with what's going on. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you guys on the next one.